Thursday, and I like to come down Thursday and do what we call the Alaskan of the Week. Now, I could see the pages are already kind of excited, right? Because let's face it, this is the most exciting speech of the week, and certainly the most interesting. And so what I like to do is come down and by the way, I know the press generally likes it because they is normally a signal that it's the end of the week, right? Everybody's going home. This is usually the last speech of the week. I think this might be the last speech of the year this year. So what we do with the Alaskan of the Week, we talk a little bit about what's going on in Alaska. I'll get to that. And then I like to highlight someone who's doing something great for my state. Might be, someone local. Our first Alaskan of the Week, I think, was a librarian who'd been a librarian for 40 years. Amazing woman, right? And then we have, superstar world athletes, gold medalists in swimming and things like that. So we just cover the whole gambit. Now, usually there's a poster board. I made this a very special Alaska of the Week poster board. This might be the first time ever it's got Santa on it. And you're going to see why. Santa-oriented speech. So, of course, right now, I'm getting ready to head home in a couple hours. I was just home over the weekend. No worries in Alaska right now about a white Christmas. Anchorage, my hometown, I think we've had close to 100 inches of snow already. Now, look, for us, that's a lot. I'm talking about November, right? So we got a white Christmas coming for sure. It's magical, of course, in Alaska. We've got reindeer. We've got one that actually lives in downtown Anchorage. We got visitors coming. And we've got a great town called North Pole, Alaska. North Pole, Alaska. And we have the Santa Claus house in North Pole, where Santa lives. And by the way, this is true. This is what my Alaskan of the Week speech is all about. If you write a letter to Santa addressed to the North Pole, your letter will end up at the Santa Claus house in North Pole, Alaska. Why wouldn't it? By the way, this house is not to be confused with the abode of a North Pole City Council member. North Pole, Alaska is a city a little bit north of Fairbanks. And this city council member, by the way, his name is Santa Claus. His legal name is Santa Claus. He is a member of the city council. I know him well. Look, I'm not ripping him. He's a Bernie Sanders socialist. True. Now, why wouldn't it be? The guy gives out free gifts to everybody. So that's true. It's true. He's a good guy. So Santa, if you're watching, hello, Santa Claus, city council member at North Pole. But, Madam President, in all seriousness, interior Alaska, this is the interior part of our state, has the greatest, most kind people, generous, and in keeping with the spirit of Christmas, our Alaskan of the Week is the Miller family, who is the owner of Santa Claus House in North Pole, Alaska, which has been a fixture in our state and really for the country for over 70 years. 70 years, the Miller family, who founded Santa Claus House, has been running it for 70 years, making North Pole, Alaska, literally what it is today. They built the whole community. So let me help you get into the holiday spirit by describing just how magical the Santa Claus house in North Pole, Alaska really is. You drive down St. Nicholas Drive, okay, not kidding, by St. Nicholas Catholic Church, by the way. You'll see a huge house lined with red trim and murals of a reindeer and Santa's sleigh. Just outside is a barn with a real reindeer, a massive decked-out Christmas tree, and a 42-foot tall Santa Claus statue welcoming you to Santa's workshop. Now, the magic does not end there. Inside the house, you're greeted by a Christmas tree decorated with every ornament you can imagine, a live countdown to Christmas Day, of course. Why wouldn't there be one? Every day of the year. And a professional Santa Claus ready to hear every Christmas wish from the thousands of visitors, and I'm not just talking Alaskans, Americans, people from all over the world who visit Santa Claus House in North Pole, Alaska every year. And you're also likely to meet and see several members of the extended Miller family, working to make the Santa Claus house the winter wonderland it is. And Madam President, they've been doing it for 4 generations to keeping the spirit of Christmas alive. Let me take you back 4 generations to the original founder of Santa Claus House. That's Con and Nellie Miller. Born in 1913, Con and his mother just didn't see eye to eye. They decided that it was best that he join the Navy. Now, Madam President, he joined when he was 15, a little young, and this is just in the great Alaska spirit. You know, I've talked about it a lot over the years. We have more veterans per capita than any state in the country. So being in the military and a veteran is very normal in Alaska. It's a great part of our culture. And this young guy, Con, left Colorado, spent 3 years in the Navy, starting at the age of 15. How he got in, I have no idea. He was on a gunboat in China. Then he got out. Then Pearl Harbor happened. And of course, he's a patriot, so he rejoined the Navy. He fought in the South Pacific during the Second World War. So great American, greatest generation individual, Con Miller. After the war ended, Con and his wife Nellie ended up in Fairbanks with the goal of running a clothing store. To supplement their income, Con sold clothes in the surrounding rural villages, often donning a red Santa suit each Christmas. He quickly earned celebrity status as the local Santa Claus in interior Alaska, the first that many children had ever seen, ever in rural Alaska. In 1952, the Millers built a trading post 13 miles south, I said north, south of Fairbanks in the newly named North Pole, Alaska. So just a little south of Fairbanks, the big city in the interior. One day while working hard at his new store, a young Alaskan boy recognized Con and asked, "Well, hello, Santa. Are you building a new house?" Inspiration clicked, and Con thought, hey, why not? Let's do this. And so the Santa Claus house was born. In addition to purchasing groceries, locals could mingle at the soda fountain and pick up their daily mail at the Santa Claus house, and under the direction of postmistress Nellie Miller, Con's, aka Santa's wife, was a mail contract station that served North Pole's first post office for almost 20 years. So there you have it. North Pole, Alaska became a post office for America. The Miller family lived above the store and were essential to its operation. All 3 kids, Terry, Mike, and Mary, yes, Mary, Christmas, spelled M-E-R-R-Y, not M-A-R-Y, worked alongside their parents. Despite their insight behind the scenes as employees, current owner and manager Mike said they believed in Santa as much as anyone else. Of course they did. Everybody believes in Santa. As North Pole grew, and it is growing, it's a great community, like I said, just a few miles outside of Fairbanks, the Santa Claus house grew with it. Inside, the store's emphasis on Christmas delights slowly replaced the aisles of canned goods. Meanwhile, the Miller family established themselves as pillars of the North Pole community. Not only North Pole, but all of interior Alaska. Con Miller served as the mayor of North Pole for 19 years, the city's longest-serving mayor, while Nellie Miller acted as a marriage commissioner for the community. Now, back then, that was a real job, marriage commissioner. Eventually, both of their sons, Terry and Mike, also found politics. The late Terry Miller was a state legislator. He was president of the state Senate and was elected to be our lieutenant governor in 1978. Mike, who was helping run the Santa Claus house, also served in the legislature as Senate president from 1983 to 2001. This is a dominating political family in Alaska, 2 state Senate presidents. I knew the Millers, they're great, great family, both Miller brothers, very highly respected, across the aisle. This is and was and has been a great family committed to public service. Madam President, begun over 70 years ago by Con and Nellie Miller, the Santa Claus house continues as following generations of Millers keep up that Christmas spirit and keep it thriving in North Pole, Alaska. And it's still a family-run business. Mike Miller is looking forward to the next generation continuing to run the family business with his daughter Carissa and son-in-law Paul, and staffed by several grandchildren. Isn't this just a wonderful story? Really warms your heart as we head into the holiday season. We all know Santa's job is a hard one, and it's also no small job running the Santa Claus house for the world. In addition to the family, there are between 40 and 60 employees year-round working there. Besides being a delightful tourist attraction worldwide, the Santa Claus house understands the true meaning of Christmas and uses its name for recognition, and uses its name recognition for good works in the community, organizing food drives for the Fairbanks Food Bank that is used throughout interior Alaska and many other issues of charity. Mike said, I think we have really worked hard to bring the spirit of Santa to our community, the spirit of giving and family and caring about one another. I hope we have done a small slice in this service of helping people realize that Christmas is about caring, about giving to one another, and about being good neighbors. That's Mike Miller. Well, they've done that, Madam President, in a huge way. They've done more than give a small slice. For the past 70 years, they've given their all towards spreading the magic, the wonder, and the joy of Christmas to Alaskans, to Americans, to a people all over the world. So thank you to the Miller family and to the incredible institution of the Santa Claus House in North Pole for making our state a more jolly place, a more generous place, a more caring place, and for keeping the spirit of Christmas alive, not just now during the holidays, but year-round in the great state of Alaska. And of course, to the Millers and Santa Claus House, congratulations on being our Alaskan of the Week. I yield the floor.